I had 13,000 clients.
If you knew what you know now about business 10 years ago, probably be a fucking billionaire.
They pay me money, they make even more, I can sleep.
0 to 10, 10 to 50K a month, 50 to 100. What do you think was like the biggest change in like what you're able to do?
I didn't think this was possible to make this much in an hour.
I just focused on every month. What can we do this month to make it better?
OnlyFans started coming out. My dad's like, Zac, you should do that.
Awesome. So we're here with Zac Perna, the Zac Perna, and you haven't done many pods, so I was like, let's just shoot the shit, chat, personal life, business, your story. I remember like bits from when you've told me, and obviously you're running Social Blueprint now, crushing it with that. But how did you get? Because you went to university. How did you like first get into online money or whatever you want to call it?
University, I was doing commerce, so I was like probably 19, 20, but I hated it. And I think at the same time I was doing just fitness posting, just normal like shit posting on fitness. And then the first plan I sold, because everyone was just asking me for advice, and so I was like, I could sell this. And it was about $100 for, I think, one-off diet was $100, and then 12-week program was about $200. And so then I was like, oh my God, first $100 made. I was like, I can print from this, because I just made like $300 in one weekend, and that was like, I think it felt like a life changer. That was my first thing, just fitness plans.
The first online dollar is always crazy because it like proves it's possible.
Yeah, the belief of like, wow, I can actually make money from what I like, or even from home, I think was like crazy. So I did this thing where I would promote as much as I could, and I'd get as many sales as possible so that I could wake up on like a Saturday at maybe 4 a.m. and just write like 15 meal plans. Just like go, I had no systems. I didn't know what I was doing. I liked it, but I didn't have anything that I could like systemize to make it easier, because it was just fun. It was just like, this is great. And then it hit a point where I was like, okay, I should probably look into fixing this, because I was like so busy and just drained.
Yeah. And that was just from YouTube, right? Just from the YouTube following?
Instagram, Snapchat,
true.
YouTube. Yeah, it was just like, I mean, if I had 20 people want to buy something, I mean, that was from Snapchat mainly, I reckon, because people just followed me. I did call to actions on there, and I sent the payment link.
What
PayPal.
payment processor?
It was PayPal, yeah. It was PayPal, $100, friends and family.
And how old were you when you started that?
Around 19, 20.
Okay, true. So
I think.
And then you did that for what, 10 years before the Blueprint?
About 8 years, yeah.
8 years. And because I remember I used to watch like your Big Mac or the Happy Meal Challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah, the calorie challenges or the day in the lives of like The Rock and shit like that.
Yeah.
And you always stood out because you were like one of the few guys in the fitness space that actually had like really funny shit that was like creative, like with the Arnold impressions.
I did random stuff.
Yeah, I was just like
random shit.
Silly. And because you were one of the earlier people in the space as well, so you kind of like dominated in Australia, I feel like, for a long time.
I did, but I didn't realize it at the time. But if I look back, I was like, no one was actually doing that. So that was lucky.
It's probably crazy because I feel like, tell me if I'm wrong, but in the last few years, I feel like business side of Zac has definitely like improved quite a lot compared to when you first started.
Yeah.
Right? It's like if you knew what you know now about business 10 years ago, probably be a fucking billionaire.
Literally. It's crazy. I think there's two reasons for that. One big one was that a lack of self-belief at the time. So when I was like, I always felt like I wasn't good enough for my following, I don't know why people wanted to listen to me. So I didn't actually think I had what it took to create a really good business. So I would always have to use other people of like, oh, you can run my ads, or you can help me build this. What should I charge? Like I didn't take enough responsibility and accountability for my stuff. And then when I did, I was like, okay, I can do this. I deserve to run this. I'm capable. I didn't feel like I was capable. And another part of it was having the experience and know how to do the stuff. And so when I can do this now, and obviously in the Blueprint, we help people do that, they don't understand how much time and money they're saving by learning these skills quick.
Yeah.
And that's because I didn't know these skills when I started. And people think, oh, I can figure it out, just like I thought I could figure it out. But who wants to wait 8 years to figure out something, a few key things you could do in like a month?
Yeah. And I think that's the difference between like influencer and business owner. There's a lot of famous people that make fuck all money.
A lot.
Like I spoke to a guy 4 or 5 months ago when I was in Bali, and has like most people would know him, has like 500,000 followers on Instagram,
Brokey.
making like 20 grand a month, which is
Okay,
like,
it's not broke, but
yeah, like it's good. But
you'd expect.
for that many followers,
Yeah.
like compared to what guys in the blueprint with 2,000, 3,000 followers are doing,
Yeah,
it's crazy.
it's ridiculous. I think that a lot of people are literally, they associate fame with money because that's usually how it would work. But if you don't have your head screwed on properly, you won't be able to capitalize. You'll be a broke influencer because if the best part about being an influencer is that you have reach and trust. If you don't have trust and all you have is reach, you can't sell anything because at the end of the day, you're going to sell something. Like you're going to sell either brands. If you can't do that, they're not going to pay you. So you can get a really good brand deal and people will be like, oh, influencers are killing it because they're getting paid a lot. But if they don't make any sales for that brand, they're not going to have a deal in a year's time. So you have to have some kind of business to go off. That's why I was so hell-bent on my fitness coaching business because I thought I'm not going to get paid by Gymshark for the rest of my life. Like as soon as I'm not useful to them anymore, they're just going to kick me to the curb, which is like fair.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of people are very short-term. They're like, oh, I just want the fame, so that means I'll succeed. I'm like, no.
And what made you want to start the blueprint? Because when it started, I remember a lot of the calls I was taking, it was like people wanted to be influencers.
Yeah.
They wanted to get more followers. Then it kind of pivoted into more fitness coaching. Like what made you actually want to start it in the beginning?
I think it's like as you get to a point where you get successful and then you go, I want to teach other people to do what I did. And if I think about what I did, as you said earlier, it's so random. It's like YouTube, it's funny content, it's building a personal brand. It's just doing a lot in the online space. And I've done I've monetized through fitness coaching. I've monetized through like retreats, brand deals, all these different ways. And so I thought, well, I'll teach you guys how to do that. So that was the first offer of like, I'll teach people exactly what I did. And then as we found, you get people coming in to go, okay, well, I want to be an influencer. And we sold a lot of people in that as well. So they joined the blueprint to do content and just influencing. But what happens? Well, they don't make a solid return all the time. And I think just morally, I wasn't comfortable with selling something that I couldn't promise would work for the right person because you can't promise you'll get 1 million followers or you'll achieve your goal of social media. But I can promise that you'll make X amount of dollars fitness coaching because it's a system. Like it's marketing and sales, which works. But organic marketing doesn't work all the time. So I felt better just going, all right, let me lean into making people more money. They pay me money. They make even more. I can sleep.
And I think when you help people make money, that's like the biggest change and impact you can have initially for someone that's not making that much. Like I see it with my guys, obviously, when like the 0 to 10, then at 10, you have all the other cool stuff. But it's like, if you're not at that point, that's the biggest impact. Because then once you've got money, you can go out and get a steak. You don't have to worry about it. You can help out your family. You can go travel if you want. Like you were just in fucking Europe because you wanted to. Like,
Fun. Yeah. It's life-changing.
Yeah.
And it's a paradigm shift of I can get out of this rat race for a little bit and I can actually do something myself. And I think that is like a shift that once you see past that, you don't want to go back. So, and that's so rewarding to see people experience that. And as you would have seen as well, it's like you live vicariously through them and you go, I remember that feeling. That's so good. Yep. Keep going. Like it's nice.
And it's a good reminder because like I've been in like high ticket sales or whatever since 2020. So like coming up on 6 years, you've been doing business for over a decade. And it's easy to forget what it's like when you're in the trenches at the beginning. And then when you like see them hit those milestones, like I didn't start the business to get fulfillment. It was like, it was part of it, but it wasn't the main reason. But now seeing it, like continuing, it's like you do get so much fulfillment actually seeing that.
Yeah, heaps.
Yeah.
The best part is like, the reason why I started the business was to make more money.
Yeah.
And then as you get into it, you have to be aligned with the fulfillment. Otherwise, you don't actually want to do the thing anymore. So that's why we're so like, and when you're with a blueprint, we always would talk about how to make it better for the clients, how to get them more wins. Otherwise, if we were just only concerned about the cash, you would just focus everything on marketing and sales.
Yeah.
But making it a good program that works is, the most fulfilling thing.
Yeah. And then people refer people, good word of mouth. It spreads like wildfire. What, going from like 0 to 10 to 50K a month, 50 to 100 plus, what do you think was like the biggest change in like what you're able to do lifestyle wise or money wise? Like besides maybe 0 to 10, what was like the biggest leap that you're like, fuck, I can do a lot now?
I think it was probably just the ability to travel, I think, and to just do something like next week. I did a video once where I let my dog choose where I traveled, and I did a little like some kind of spinning wheel, I forget, and then Bear just goes up and goes, "Oh, you're going skydiving in Dubai," and I was like, "Sweet," and I did it. And
Is that what led to Dubai?
Yeah, no, that was my first Dubai trip, and that was when I was like, just started making a bit of money, and but it's funny though because I should have experienced that feeling of success a long time ago, but I never did. I thought it was all going to be taken away from me. I thought I wasn't good enough for it. I didn't feel like I was deserving or capable. I think it was just a belief. It was a belief issue. And I did what I did every single day because I loved it. But I didn't really think, oh, you've made it. And maybe that's why I continued to succeed a lot more than I did, was because I felt like the job wasn't done yet. But I think if I could look back, there wasn't even a moment when I went, wow, I can actually go and buy a car or do anything like that. Like I didn't get that feeling. It was more gradual where one day I was like, wow, I'm actually traveling with my videographer and Joel, my brother. How good's this? Like there was a few moments like that. But again, at that point, I was already making very good money.
Yeah. When did you start to overcome some of these beliefs? Like I'm not good enough or I'm not worthy?
Probably when I started Slash Potato, the pajama brand.
Okay.
Because I didn't want to start that because of those fears. And then Joel, my brother, like he had the belief.
Yeah.
He didn't have the skills, but he had the belief. And so that helped instill that belief in me. So then I did it. And then I learned by doing. And I'm like, wow, no one has that. You're not born with it.
Yeah.
But it's when you do some things and get confident, then then for me, I started to see, wow, it's a choice. Like I can actually be that person to achieve certain things. And then it's a matter of skills. That I just got to get certain skills. Yeah. So part of it for me was actually going, just say yes, just do the thing, make the decision, and then I'll be able to figure it out and become that person. And then the blueprint was a perfect segue into that. I was like, I knew that me 2 years ago would have been too scared because I would have thought of every possible bad scenario or what's the worst case? What if I don't know everything? But then at the time I was like, you know what, fuck it, let's just launch it and see what happens.
Yeah.
And then that's what happened. We launched it. It wasn't exactly like that first offer was nowhere near what it is now.
Yeah.
And that would have been a reason for me to never start the business many years ago because I would have thought, you can't do it. It's going to be terrible. But that's what you have to do to start any good business is like, accept the fact that in the beginning, it's going to pale in comparison to what it's going to be later. And that's okay. Like make the shit version and then learn by doing and you'll become the guy that has the sick version. Like same as with your like very first, what was it? You probably sold a consultation or you probably sold some kind of mentorship before Closers Call, right?
Yeah, the first offer I ever sold was Instagram followers.
But that wasn't your business.
No.
What was your first
the
iteration
first thing
of your
I
business?
sold?
Yeah.
It was a low ticket subscription for Closers Call.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was going to fund retreats. Like I always wanted to do the retreats.
Yes.
And I was going to have the low ticket subscription fund these every few months.
Yeah.
But I pitched it to 10 people and only one said yes, which was Anton.
Oh, no way.
So,
that's so cool.
Anton jumped in. I was like, hey, bro, like, do you want your money back? Like, it's not really a thing anymore.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, dude, like, I like you. Like, I see you've done well. Like, can you just teach me how I can go from like being an appointment setter to like closing? I was like, all right, done.
So that was the first Closers Call business.
Yeah.
And so if you think about how that compares to where it is now,
Crazy.
you wouldn't be able to, it's like, it's a completely different ballgame, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, if you knew that at the start, if you knew how far off the mark you were with that first business, that would be enough for some people to go, oh, I'm shit, I don't want to start it. But the fact that like, I think it's exciting to start it with something that might not even work, but you know it's going to blossom to something that will be successful.
Yeah.
That's what I think separates you from someone who would have just quit.
And the thing is, to be fair as well, is like I when I started it, even a few months in, I had no idea it would get to where it's at now. And like even now looking forward, like now I've got a lot more self-belief than when I started. But I just focused on just every month. What can we do this month to make it better? Like same when I was working with the sales team on the blueprint. It's like, all right, yes, we want to hit like these big goals. What can we do this month to just make it better? Cool, we need to focus on setting. We need to focus on closing. It's just like the daily inputs to get there. And then you build the self-belief, you build the vision along the way. At least that's what I have. Like I have no fucking idea where it's going to be in 3 to 5 years. But I know for this year, my goal is to just keep doing the same with what's working.
Yeah, and fixing the weak points, right?
Yeah, because shit starts to break. That's
Yeah.
for sure.
But I love that that kind of method though of like let's push it until something breaks.
Yeah.
And then fix that.
Yeah.
And then go, because I used to have this like mentality of I need everything to be perfect before I started. I got to fix everything and preempt everything before we go. And it's just shit. It's just it's a slow way to move. And it's like this based on the assumption that you can predict the future, which you can't. I now I think move quick and fix faster.
Yeah.
Whereas instead of trying to preempt everything under the sun, which is impossible anyway.
Yeah.
So, and we see this with trainers when they come in because they think, oh, I just want to do this and then get my this and then it'll be great for my Instagram and then I'll launch stuff. And it's like, why do you think you can predict the future?
Yeah.
Like you just do the thing that's in front of you.
I'd have that on so many calls. People be like, oh, well, I want to get my website first.
Yeah.
Or I've got a holiday. Like I want to come back from holiday.
Yes.
Or, you know, I've got to create a new account because my friends and family might see it.
Yeah.
It's like, just fucking post.
Yeah,
like just
exactly.
get your first 10, 20 posts out and you'll learn. But like that holds so many people back.
Well, most people think they know what to do. That's the problem. Is that they think they know the path. They're like, oh, well, once I do my show, then everyone's going to respect. And I'm like, hang on. You've never done this before. You are not successful yet. So don't pretend like you know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Do the thing that's going to move the needle. You know what you should do. You said post. You know that you should DM people and try and get some conversations started to get on a call to try and sell them. But they do everything but that because they're waiting for this narrative to pan out. And then when it doesn't, well, they've just wasted 6 months and they go, oh, and they tell themselves another story.
Yeah.
And that's the same reason why they stay in the same position. So it's hard. I didn't envy your job as a closer because I was like, you got to allow them to realize that in a way that doesn't feel pushy or mean, you know?
Which is so hard sometimes.
Oh.
'Cause sometimes you just want to rip their head off and just be like, bro, just fucking do it.
Yeah,
Like-
literally. That's what I would do with people. And I'm like, didn't get the close.
Yeah. What was the first like sales call you ever took?
Oh, I can't remember the first sales call I took.
Was it for the blueprint or was it ever for fitness?
It's for a retreat. Oh, actually,
Okay.
it was for fitness, but I didn't do too many because I had people doing those.
Yeah.
Or I sold via basically VSL because it was a lower ticket. I mean, I had, 13,000 clients, fitness clients,
hell.
and I had the ability to just funnel them every which way. So I didn't have the problem of I can't make enough money from fitness clients. So I could just run them through just strict marketing and I could neglect sales.
Yeah.
Nowadays, a bit different with people. They don't have leads coming out of their ass. So they
Yeah.
need to go hard on sales so that they're not worried about everything. Everything becomes easier if you're good at that.
Yeah.
So I didn't need to do too many for fitness. And then I started doing retreats and that was like a proper high ticket thing. So I was like, oh, damn, I need to do this. I need to get into it. And so I went ham on trying to learn because I just felt like the skill gap was there because it's not something I was naturally interested in. And the comfortability wasn't there. Like I was not comfortable with challenging someone or asking for payment. Like I hated that. But once I started to do it, I felt like I just unlocked a whole different game, more
Yeah.
secrets. I was like, this is cool.
Yeah. When you took the first like payment for a high ticket sale, like as you're sending the payment link in the chat, were you just trying to act like super casual? Like, what was that like?
I think the first one was the first big one was a PIF. I think it was like maybe an 8K PIF. And in my head, I'm like, this shit's so fucking easy. I'm like, this is so good. I'm like, yeah, man, I'll just pop it in the chat. You're good to fix it up now. I don't think I stopped talking. I just kept I was just like so shocked that they're just feeling it out. He goes, do you want me to do it now? I'm like, that'd be fucking awesome. Like, let's go if you're happy to.
Please.
And then I think I just became best mates with the guy. I just talked to him for like 30 minutes after because I was like so shocked.
Yeah.
But that feeling though, like when you get that quick dopamine hit, I mean, it lessens every time, but it's still like super exciting, I think, at that first time. And again, sometimes it's a paradigm shift of I didn't think this was possible to make this much in an hour. Like that, I think, is like the craziest thing. And when I did my first like proper webinar that I did as well, again, that was another exciting one where I pitched to hundreds of people and I just went hard trying to pitch. And then it got to the point at the end of it, I checked my phone and I saw the total payments come through and I was like, it's kind of mind-boggling because you don't think something's possible. And then you do it, and then you're like, shit, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But then it's fleeting, and then it goes away, and you're back to business.
Yeah. It's like another new mission unlocked, new level unlocked. Yeah. And what did your family think when you were starting? Like before you had results, before you had a following, you're just like a young kid just posting videos. A lot of people are afraid of like what their family or their friends are going to think. Like what did your parents think?
I was lucky that my family was always supportive. Like I probably could have done anything. I tell the story I wrote in my book when OnlyFans started coming out. My dad's like, Zach, you should do that. And I'm like, Dad, I'm not going to do OnlyFans. He goes, you're already posting photos in your undies. You just get paid for it. I'm like, nah, trust me. And now he knows. Now he's like, yeah, lucky you didn't do that. It would have been a bad look. But they've always been supportive of my stuff, which I'm super thankful for because a lot of people are not. And I've helped a lot of people who are not, whose families and friends aren't supportive. My mates at the time weren't, I wouldn't say, maybe they were supportive, but they didn't necessarily show it as much as I may have wanted to see. But now I know a bit better that like it's not anything they did wrong or anything. I think it's maybe some did nothing because they thought, oh, it's not my place to support or not my place to do anything. And some people take the piss, which to them is no harm. And then at the time when you're self-conscious, you take it personally. So now I just know that you can't take that stuff personally, And if you do have friends and family that support you to try something new, you're lucky and you're fortunate. But if you don't, it's more like you have to stick with it longer. You just have to stick with it longer and maybe have some conversations with people to say like, this is something I'm actually, and I said like to some friends, I was like, hey, this is something I actually care about. Like I'm trying here. It's not easy. And as soon as I did that, they were like, oh damn, I was just like kind of kidding. I thought you were all sweet. I thought you were confident and loving it. And I was like, nah, this is scary. And then they were like, oh, okay. So I think some conversations have to be had. And if you're not going to get the support even after those conversations, I don't think they deserve your attention. I don't think you should even give it a second thought.
Did you have to drop any day ones along the way?
Not really, nah. I mean, like a few people here and there, but I think it's more of a lifestyle shift.
Yeah.
I
had a similar thing. It was never that I was like, I had to make a physical stance of like, no, we're no longer friends. It was just like, it just naturally happened.
Yeah.
Because your interests are different. And I don't know about you, but like for me, all of my friends now, I've done or do business with in some sort of way, shape or form. Like some of my closest friends are students or, guys I've worked with in the past or, met through like a networking event or something. They all have similar interests because I just find like the friends I had from high school, we'd have a good time and like we'd have laughs and stuff. But half this time I just want to talk about business. And it's like...
It's a passion. It's another passion.
Yeah. How does your friend group look now? Do you still have friends from like uni and things like that, or?
I was the most antisocial person at uni ever because I barely went. But my like high school friends, I still keep in contact with them and I see them every now and then. But I'm the same as you in that I gel with people when we have very similar interests and we like do business and things like that. But I also enjoy every now and then not having to talk about business because I think I do it so much.
Yeah.
I do it so much that sometimes it's nice to just like hang out with someone, talk about just gym or just like something that is maybe another interest, but it's not like work mode. Because otherwise then I get stuck into, okay, I should do this, do that. So there's like there's a balance that I'm still trying to find.
For sure. Yeah. I found like, especially when I was in Dubai specifically, I would go to these dinners and it'd all be business, and which I was like, oh yeah, that'd be great. But then I just always felt in lack because like everyone was doing so much better.
You just feel inferior and you're chasing all the time. And that would fuck me a bit.
Yeah. For me, like a really good contrast I had was like going to Dubai, feeling in lack, getting motivated, then going to Bali. Because then I'd feel like, oh, I've got everything I need. This is great. $2 Grab driver can take me to the other side of the island.
Even go back to your hometown. Go back to and see what those your old mates were doing. See what the kids you went to school with are doing. Like I've been around a lot of successful people and seen people do some cool stuff that I felt like I don't have much. And then I went back home and I'm like, why was I thinking I don't have much? That's such a shit mindset. I'm like, I got a nice car. I got a house. I got a good family. I got heaps of stuff going on. I can go buy a steak and not worry about it. That for me to feel anything but gratitude is crazy. But you hang around people, you go to Dubai and you'll feel like you don't have enough stuff.
Yeah.
And that's what I didn't like about like going to like hanging around with really successful people, or at least sometimes superficially successful people, is that you just compare yourself upwards all the time. And you don't realize what you actually have, which sometimes is pretty good.
Yeah, especially when you actually like notice it. It's so easy to always be chasing the next thing, always be looking ahead.
Oh, yeah.
That's how like a lot of successful people are wired. That's why
sure.
they're successful, because they're always looking ahead. But then a lot of them are also so unhappy because
Yes.
they don't acknowledge what they've got.
Yes, I'm always trying to do both. It's hard, but I try and chase the goal, and then I find myself getting beaten up over it or whatever, and then I go, actually, this is okay. This it's not too bad.
And you're 30 now?
Yeah.
Over the last like 10 years, like building all these businesses, being super famous, super successful, how does that affect like your dating life and like meeting women, relationships?
Like in the past, I think, and I'm not saying this because I'm just guessing. I mean, people have told me this. A lot of girls have not wanted to like chat because they would think I was like a player. Because why? Because you have heaps of Instagram followers or something. So for a while, I actually found it very challenging. And also because the ones who were impressed by social status or like social media or money are not the kind of girls that I would want to be typically speaking to. So it was kind of hard because I feel like you can either just like rinse it and go ham or not much at all.
Yeah.
And and I was like in this spectrum. And for a long time I was so into my gym and my business, like when I was in my early 20s, I wasn't talking to any girls.
Really?
And for a long time, yeah, you just don't, because girls probably expect you to go to them, and then you just, for whatever reason, you don't, or because if you try to speak to someone, they think, oh, he's just like one of those guys. So it actually makes it like challenging. It's quite hard.
It's so funny because that's so different to what I or most people would think. Like, I think you'd think, you know, you get famous, you make a lot of money, and girls just start like flooding to you. And it's like,
I mean, I think some do. I think some might, but like I said, it's not the ones that you would ever, you'd ever want. And yeah, I didn't. You get more in the fitness industry. You get more guys that go, bro, you look so good. Let's go catch up for a session.
Yeah. And so out of all the places you've traveled to, what is your favorite place outside of Australia?
Italy.
Okay.
And Japan, both Italy and Japan. I've been to Japan like 9 times, and I've been to Italy probably 3 or 4 just because it's further away.
Yeah.
But food, culture, I think it's always so refreshing, I think, to go to those. I mean, you enjoyed Italy.
Yeah, Italy was sick. Yeah, I'm yet to go to Japan.
Really?
I need to go there. Everyone keeps telling me.
It's so chilled, I think. It's nice to go to different places where you can kind of reset. It's like you got like Dubai and then you got Japan, like different ends of the spectrum. I think so. In terms of like just how relaxed and non-superficial it can be sometimes. Like you go to Japan, you don't care about where you stay. You stay in like chilled place, or if I'm going skiing or whatever, you're staying in this like tiny little place. You don't even have a bed. You just have a little futon. You're like, this is beautiful, nice scenery. But then I go to Dubai and I feel like I always have to spend heaps of money, or different places. I feel like you got to spend more. So I like that places where I got good food, good culture. I'm pretty happy.
And like considering you could live anywhere, you could go anywhere. I'm actually asking for myself. Like, why do you always come back to Melbourne?
Family.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Italian in you.
Yeah, literally, I couldn't leave the family. My nonna would probably kill me. I think it's, like that's a big one for me, is I don't think I could like stay away for too long, because I would miss a family. Super close with my brother and mum and dad as well. And then, got my dog. Like I like having a home base, but I also like changing it up. And I like the flexibility. Like 2 days ago, I just booked a flight to Brazil, and then it's so random, and then returned from America. So then I'm like, oh sweet, I'll do this thing that's in a couple months. I like that because it keeps it like fresh, but I love my routine too.
Yeah.
Like, I love my gym, my office setup. There's only so long I can go like stacking pots and pans on books with my laptop while I sort that out. I like it for a bit, but then I have to have a home base, I think.
My posture's gotten so much worse.
The hunchback of closed
Airbnbs, just closing. Yep, taking payment now.
What's the weirdest place you've ever closed? Because if you're traveling a lot, you have to.
Yeah. I've closed in a taxi. That was pretty cool because the Wi-Fi kept dropping in, dropping out. That was for your offer, actually.
Is it?
It was one of the early days, yeah. I've closed another guy. I closed a guy like right in front of this building in Milan. I forgot what the building's called. It was like some nice building. That was a pretty interesting spot.
That's great.
But I want to do like a YouTube challenge where it's like closing deal on a hot air balloon.
That
like
is
something
cool.
crazy. I think
That's
that'd be
cool.
sick.
That'd be very good.
But I haven't yet. So
Have you ever closed on a night out?
not live, like not on
Damn.
the phone, like on DMs or like follow up. Yeah.
Okay.
And
Not in
that's-
person?
I've closed in person, but I was at a coffee meetup.
Still good.
But sometimes on nights out, that comes up where like you'll be chatting, you know, you're a bit tipsy, whatever, and they're like, you know, travel comes up, whatever. Like, how do you do it? Like while you're working, I'm like, oh, do this thing called remote high ticket sales. You want to learn more about it? Like,
I reckon you could do it.
I should go out there more, do some in person sales.
Just pretend to be really drunk and then just be like dead sober. So you're with, just like tap here.
Yeah, just have the Apple Pay ready to go.
Like we did at our event.
That was sick.
Yeah.
That made me. I still want to do an in-person event. I think for Close Call would be sick, where like you
Yeah.
have non-members.
Yep.
Because when I was taking payment on Newey, like with the
Like
Apple,
tap.
when I got the first Apple Pay and it went
Yeah.
ding, I was like, oh my god.
Something about it. It was just different. Hey, that was a lot of fun. We did a
Yeah.
lot of shit. I feel like where we didn't really know if it was gonna work. It was like almost a first time stuff.
Yeah,
And then we're like, yeah, let's try it. Like that was one of them where we just did. Let's see if you could sell people in person.
yeah. Events are sick too, guys. Like, you can't really measure the tangible effect of it as well on like the word of mouth or
Yes.
the people. Like, you can measure how much money, but the energy of people being together in the room, having the clients see each other, and especially for the sales team. Like, I know for me, when I would meet people that gave me a shit ton of objections, and then I meet them and they're like, dude, thank you so much for handling my objections. I was being a pussy. And it's
Yeah.
like the confidence that builds for you next time
Yes.
when you're in the trenches for like an hour trying to handle this person's objections, and you just know that like on the other side of it, it could be one of those people you meet at the event. Like that did a lot for the sales team, I
The
think.
conviction.
Yeah, and like when it was Luke, Anton, and I just in that
Yeah.
in Surfers, we were
Yeah.
staying in the Goldie, just slinging deals. That's
Smashing
like
it.
one of the best weeks of my life.
That was so good. I think like if you have the conviction and if you know that your product service for the right person will change their life, it feels insane to not grab them and shake them.
Yeah.
Like then that's why I think when I speak to people and if I genuinely know, like because I've seen it so many times that our business, like that they're crazy if they don't go through with this and that our business will help make them 10x more, I will speak to them like I'll just tell them like you're an idiot if you don't do this, and I'll have to shake them up, and I'm more than happy to do that. But it's when you're not confident in what you sell that it's hard to have that conviction, because at the end of the day, then you're like, oh, I don't know if this is going to work. Am I just taking your money? But if you know that it's going to help them, you're actually a piece of shit if you don't sell it to them.
Yeah.
If you don't like push them, because you've pushed a lot of people that would have made. I mean, think about it. When did you close for me? Like 2 years ago, nearly.
It was end of 24. No, when I started traveling, it was like May 2024.
Oh, it's actually pretty much a year ago. There's you just left, I think.
Yeah, it was March last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So think about in the last year, the people that you got over the line that didn't feel comfortable. Imagine how much money they have made since working with us because of you.
Yeah.
And that they didn't want to, like they were like, oh, this is so terrifying.
Yeah.
That I think is crazy.
Yeah.
And how much money they and also in time they haven't wasted as well. Maybe it would have taken another 3 years to make what they did. So that I think is a cool feeling. And then when you see that over and over again, you just build this level of like conviction in what you sell.
It's also the quality of life they live. Like when I was in Thailand, I was living with Ollie and Linnea for a little bit. Like we had like a little share house going, and like they're full-time living in Thailand. Now they're in Bali. They're traveling, making all this money. And it's like they were both working FIFO. And Ollie was doing what? Fucking 12, 14-hour days, still fucking grinding on the blueprint on the outside hours to make it work.
Yeah.
And now he's like full-time living like a G.
And that's in a year or something.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, he's crushing it. It's so cool. From what you've seen, like with sales guys, because you've had a fair few on the blueprint, right?
Mm-hmm.
You had me, you had Anton Luke, got some new guys now. What do you think separates the guys that do really well compared to the guys that come in and maybe they don't do as well? What's the biggest factor?
From what I've seen, this could be me just being biased, is that the ones who do well I actually like them as a person. Like I would hang out with them. I'd have a conversation with them. They are personable. They're likable. The ones that don't do well, I get a weird feeling off them. And if I get that feeling, and this is when if I'm hiring a closer as well, if I get a weird feeling off them, I'm like, ugh, someone else is probably gonna get the same thing, and I don't want that.
Yeah.
I need the closer to be a representation of me and my business, and so if I don't gel with a person, it's a bit of a red flag for me. So I think that personability and likability, I think, is pretty important. Empathy as well, like actually having empathy for the person genuinely and wanting what's best for them and being able to meet them where they're at, I think is it's like really good. And the people who didn't do well as well, they're too robotic, I reckon, a little bit in their approach. They weren't flexible. Whereas I could see sometimes you, Anton, you guys would handle a call in a different way almost every time, depending on the person. Whereas if someone's taking them right down through the same script, you're going, gotcha. So tell me, like, and they go to the next question, like, then that I'm like, oh shit, that's not good.
Let me ask you this though.
Yeah, it's just, curious fake tonality. Like, it's like
This is what I was saying. Like, I've got a video coming out where it's like everyone's taught to have like a curious tone, or an empathetic tone, or this tone, and it's like just be fucking curious. Just be
true.
empathetic, and your tone will naturally change.
That's true because it's less acting and it's more just genuine interest or concern.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you think there's any scope for like pattern interrupt when it comes to sales? Because I think there's a bit in marketing where like, obviously like if you can go against the grain a bit, people aren't expecting it. Nowadays, more people probably have sales calls. Yeah. So do you think there's any merit in having something that even if it's completely against the book, but you just get people where like, oh shit, no one's ever said or done that.
100%. Yeah, like sometimes I'll say some whack shit on a call, or I'll just go like time out, like as if you're the school teacher.
Yeah,
and they're just
yeah.
oh, okay, what?
yeah.
Or like people will go in these patterns, they'll go in these loops, like especially when you're objection handling, and like yeah, like I get what you're saying, and then they'll go back to it.
This is just defense.
Yeah,
kind of thing,
it's just keeping them stuck. And at those times, it's like, hang on, like, do you know what you're doing? And they're like, what am I doing? Like, well, every time we get past a thing, you then go, but, like, do you know why you do that? And then they're just like in this state where they're just super suggestible. And they're just like, oh, what am I doing? And then you tell them. And then when you tell them what's happening, they're like, oh, shit, this guy knows me better than me. So, yeah, definitely pattern interrupts and calling people out in a way, like you're not being a dick, but just like, bro, stop lying to yourself. Like you can say
pretty
that.
direct.
Yeah, and people, it depends how it's said, and you've got to then follow it up with like, look, I'm not trying to be a dick, but do you know why this is happening? Or do you know why I'm doing this to you? Do you know why I'm asking these questions? It's because I want the best for you. Like I've genuinely seen so many people come through and crush it, but do you know why we hold ourselves back? And like people can feel in your energy that you're challenging for them, not to them.
Yeah.
But pattern interrupting is fun.
I did it the other day. I was just in a weird mood, and I was doing basically an opt-in page for a calendar booking, an inbound triage. And so I'm looking at the copy. It looks perfect. It's been optimized by different copywriting methods and everything. And I'm like, but it hasn't been crushing it. And I'm like, let me just split test. And I just had this idea of like, I'm just going to be as rogue and anti-copyright as possible. And I just felt like it. So I split tested against a page where it was literally my dialogue. It was how I would talk. And I'm like, this is not this is not just some sales call. If you're going to, oh, that's right, I offended them. I was like, most people that see this page don't book a call. And I'm like, this is about getting your help. If you're part of the 90% who are going to skip this, then you're actually an idiot. And I'm like, yes, you're an idiot. If you can't spare 10, 15 minutes, that could change your life. Like, what the fuck are you doing? 6x'd the opt-in rate compared to the one that looks so beautiful like everyone else's. Yeah. And I had so much fun with that because I was like, oh my God, I just like 5x the bookings because I did something that I didn't know was going to work, but I was like, let's just try it. It's so different that I'm like, maybe it will.
There's so much merit in being able to go against the grain of like the popular topics, the popular sentiment in the industry.
Yeah.
Like, because you're like, there's a big push in the moment for people to start off as an appointment setter. And then I make a video going against that and that gets more views. Or like people are saying, sales calls are dead, do this instead. And like they get more views. And it's like, they might have their reasons, but just being able to go against the grain and not say what the popular sentiment is. I know in marketing that's super cool. But I'm not that experienced with ads. I've only mainly done it in organic. But what would you say is like the difference with like organic content and paid? Or are they pretty similar in the principles?
Depends, because some bits of paid are still good for top of funnel to get people to get who you are, buy into you, see results, go, oh, that's cool. But then some are more direct where you want them to do a particular thing. So you'll actually be super direct. And when people are running ads in the beginning, I always say have just as an obvious, dead simple, call out the person, tell them what you want to do, tell them what they need. Like that's like if you're this, wanting to that, but you struggle with this, click below. Like just do a super obvious one. And then I just make iterations of that and make them a bit crazy. And now I try and make them real creative. So I think if you can't stand out, you're gonna just look the same as everyone else.
Yeah.
And so I think do against what everyone else is doing basically. But organic content I think should be there to remind people to watch more of your stuff. Watch the long form things. Remind them you exist. Give a bit of value so they think, oh, that's cool, to form the perception of who you want them to think you are basically. Yeah. And ads, you can scoop them up with like something hard hitting and direct.
Beautiful. Cool. I think we're at the end. Well,
Sweet.
thanks for coming on. It was
awesome.
Good chat.
Thanks.
Good to see you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.